Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to sketch a portrait and then paint it with watercolor paint. I started with the head, making an oval shape, and then I added eyes in and the hair. I'm trying not to be so perfect about it, and it's not a realistic portrait. You can see me here adding the eyelashes, then the eyebrows. The nose is just 2 dots and tiny circles, half circles around. And my favorite part of the portraits have been the lips, because before I used to draw very tiny lips, but I'm trying to give more focus on them. Then here I added the ears and a little bun on the top of her head. Then I went down to the neck and I added some poppy flowers. And again, it's more like an abstract version. So I'm trying to do a little bit loose without too much perfection. You know, just having fun with the process. Now I'm gonna start painting the face, and I chose for skin color like a light brown tone, and it's just diluted in water, and I just went and I started adding the shades. I did have a reference, but it was completely different colors, so I just tried to use the shades and lights as reference basically. Here I'm adding another layer of brown. It is a bit mixed a bit with red, and just trying to add the shadows basically. I know there are a lot of watercolor techniques that people do for the portraits, but I still don't use them, mainly because I don't want to be locked in rules. You know, when I am drawing, I notice I really enjoying not breaking the rules, but just do my own thing, because in the end is I'm just experimenting, and it is my sketchbook or your sketchbook, and there are no rules in them. Here I'm adding the first layer of red, and I really like bright colors. I have to experiment with all the brands and all the palettes of watercolors, because I'm always trying to find a lot of contrast, and I know watercolor is not much about contrast. I think not contrast, but vibrancy, yeah. But I'm trying my best. I like watercolors because it's so easy to just carry with me and do whatever, and just open my little case and it's ready to paint. Then I added the red also in the lipstick, on the earrings, and then in the eyeshadows. I really enjoy painting makeups in my portraits. I don't know where this comes from, because I don't even wear makeup myself, except if it's for a party or some special event. But I really like to paint them in makeup. Here I'm coming with another layer of brown. Sometimes I see the watercolor dried a bit, staining a bit, and I don't like, so I add a little bit more water. And here I'm going on the chest area, adding some more shades. Also, there is a detail of her clothes, but you can't see because I made a mistake of cutting that part, but you're gonna see in the end of of the video. I painted her hair dark brown, so I went in with a couple of layers of brown and again another layer of eyeshadow. So basically what I do, it's layer on top of layer until I get the result I'm happy with. Here on the poppies, I'm adding a darker shade of red. It's more like a burgundy color, just to give a little bit of dimension to the flowers. Also adding the darker shade on the lips and on the earrings, as you can see. I also like to add a little bit of rosy cheeks to my portraits. Sometimes they don't turn out okay and I have to kind of spread a little bit or change the tone, but I like it. Here's where I'm painting her dress, but unfortunately I cut out of the frame. And now you're gonna see me adding green on the portrait, and the reason is because I've been trying to play with color theory in my portraits or in my drawings in general. So I added green because green is the complementary color of the red on the color wheel, and I watched some tutorials, explaining that it's a good way to add shadow using the complementary colors. And it is a bit scary to use because as you can see, it kind of turns into black, but it's really interesting effect. And in my previous video, I remember I was surprised why the green wreath that I painted with acrylics turned black. But then when I was painting this portrait, I realized that that's because I painted the green wreath on top of a red door. And now it makes sense, obviously, but I didn't realize at that time. It does look a little bit strange to see the green so vivid as it is now, but I thought, Karen, trust the process, carry on and see what's gonna be. In the end, it's just a sketchbook. I'm just playing, I'm just learning and experimenting, yeah. And that's what's a sketchbook about, isn't it? At this point, I remember I thought it was a bit too green and a bit too dark, so I went in and I absorbed a bit with a kitchen towel. And I went with the with the green as well on the lipstick, and everywhere I wanted to add shadow. And then I decided that I wanted a background. I don't know, maybe it was a mistake or maybe not. I never really know if I should add a background or not, but I know I like colors. So I didn't want to leave her in a plain white background. So I went in again with the complementary color of the red, which is the green. And I painted all the backgrounds, and it is so nice to paint big areas with watercolor. And here I still wasn't happy with the contrast, and I thought it was a bit dark. I wanted a bit of vibrance, so I added some yellow into the background. Then in a second I'm gonna add a little bit of more watercolor on her cheeks, but then I thought it was a bit too much, so I removed a little bit, but I wanted to give her a little bit more color. Then once all the watercolor was dry, I went in with my Posca pen with the white one and I added highlights and some details just to give a little pop for the details, really. I hope you enjoy the video and maybe you're gonna be inspired to draw something today without trying to be perfectionist or just having fun and playing with the colors. But I would like to know, what do you think? Should I have left her without a background or is it better with a background? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.